Welcome back to the Bountiful Journey. I thought I'd show you a couple of our meals. This morning we had cream of wheat with toast for our breakfast. And then for dinner, I made what I call my version of chicken posole. It's probably not as authentic as some people's, but we use chicken thighs, some carrots, hominy, diced tomatoes and chilies, green enchilada sauce, onion, cumin, and I have some frozen cherry tomatoes from our garden that I put in there. I just chopped up the vegetables and then put everything in the crock pot besides the chicken. And then I took the skin off the chicken, but I left it bone in and put it right on top. I sprinkled cumin and some salt on top of that and let it cook on low or high depending on when you want them ready. After the chicken was done, I took it out and then I had to take it off the bone. So I took all the chicken thighs out of the crock pot, let it cool in a pie plate here for a little bit before I deboned it. You could also use skinless, boneless chicken breast for this recipe. That would save you the hassle of taking the skin off and deboning the chicken later on. I use chicken thighs because they're pretty economical and I already had some on hand in my freezer. In this video, I left out our lunches just because our lunches have been pretty simple lately. They're either leftovers or simple sandwiches or Hot Pockets that I bought recently. So I just thought I would show 2 days worth of our breakfast and our dinner meals. The amount that I have in the crock pot here is actually enough for 2 meals for us. We will eat this one night and then I'm going to freeze the leftovers. After the chicken's all shredded up and back into the crock pot, I chopped up fresh cilantro and I throw that in as well. Stir it all and it is ready to go. You can also squeeze lime in it. That works perfectly with this recipe. I usually serve this meal with rice on the side. Tonight I served it with a yellow Spanish rice and I made guacamole to go with it on the side. This is what my plate looked like. On this morning I decided to make migas. Growing up we always called it chilaquiles though, but I guess that was wrong. To make it, you get your oil in your pan pretty hot and then you fry strips of corn tortillas until they're crispy, kind of like a chip consistency. I just fried mine in batches. That way they didn't get too soggy and they were all consistently crispy. Of course, I had my little helper who stirred up the eggs for me. I had Isaiah stir up our eggs and we left them to the side until we were ready to use the eggs. I continued to fry the tortilla strips in batches until I had enough for our family. Once you have as many pieces of chips that you want, you strain them out and then get your pan ready for your eggs. I actually switched to a larger cast iron pan to scramble the eggs and then add the tortillas back in. First though, you scramble the eggs until they're about the consistency of being halfway cooked. When you reach that point, then you add your tortilla pieces back in and finish cooking the scrambled eggs until they're all the way set. Like I said earlier, we grew up calling this dish chilaquiles, but I just learned on Google that it's actually called migas. Chilaquiles is a little bit different because it has more of a sauce consistency in it and not the eggs. This is something you can serve in many ways. You could add cheese on it or salsa or hot sauce, but we like to keep it pretty simple. We usually just serve it with a little bit of salt and my kids like to eat ketchup on top of it. My husband likes to use hot sauce and that is all that goes into this breakfast dish. Then for a really simple dinner that night, we did some fried potatoes with onions in a pan. Then I made sliders using those Hawaiian rolls that I got from Kroger. I just cut them in half and then I put lunch meat like ham or chicken inside of them and then cheese on most of them. I did put a little pat of butter on all of them and then I baked them in the oven until the cheese was nice and melted. We served it with baked beans and the fried potatoes that we made. It did make for a really simple dinner. Thanks for watching. Please join us again in another video.